paths predetermined? Or can we wander off the edge of the map? There's no single genetic marker for the people who will change the world. These individuals have ambition. They have imagination. They have grit. They declare, no gravity, not today. Where others see obstacles, they see opportunities. What results is often remarkable: invention. These trailblazers, innovators, and pioneers are the people all around you, creating the amazing things that surround us. You may not be here to change the world, but you are changing it by being here. Welcome to the 2020 Red Hat Forum's virtual experience. What's next?
Hello and a warm welcome to Red Hat Forum Virtual Experience 2020. My name is Martin Herring and it's my great pleasure to kick off this year's event that will happen in so many countries in EMEA at the same time. Well, usually this is the time in the year when thousands of Red Hat customers, partners and prospects are joining Red Hatters in person in great locations across our territory to listen, to learn and to collaborate. But as we all know, unfortunately, this can't happen this year. Nevertheless, we have given our absolutely best to create an exciting virtual experience and an agenda for all of you for today, but also for everyone who wants to listen to the recorded sessions afterwards. The agenda is really full of inspiring thought leadership content, business and technical tracks, as well as customer and partner testimonials. We have over 40 customers participating in presentations and 8 global partners in our showcase track and some really cool interactive product demos. So let me go straight into the theme of this year's event. The theme is what's next? Well, I guess all of you have asked yourself that question many times over the course of this year. How do we deal as a society with the impact of COVID-19? How does it change the way we work? How does it change the way we do business together? How does it change the way we communicate, we collaborate, we co-create or co-innovate together? What's next can be interpreted by some as an expression for uncertainty. But for us at Red Hat is a rallying cry to create answers for and with you to define the future of IT ahead of us. Change, especially when it comes to digital transformation, has accelerated up to 5 times during COVID-19. I have heard customers telling us that transformation projects that they have planned within the next 3 years need to close now within the next 6 months. Why is that the case? Well, more than ever, digital transformation is driven by 3 main forces, and let me explain them. The first force is the digital customer, the second, the digital business, and the third one, the digital workforce. The intersection of all 3 areas was small at best before COVID-19, but enlarged dramatically in the last 6 months. Let's talk quickly about these 3 areas. On the customer side, you have to constantly reinvent customer value propositions by adding new digital offerings and services and extending the reach to new customer segments. This can only be achieved by breaking down organizational silos and creating more flexible and agile development environments and open frameworks. On the business side, you have to implement efficient, predictable, low-cost and effective operation by digitalization of processes, automating IT management and leveraging data to make faster and better decisions. Critical to all of these actions, I think, is an open mindset and the dedication to move to a flexible hybrid cloud infrastructure. And finally, on the workforce level, this is all about humans and the radical changes to the way work is done in the future. Organizations need to rethink the way how they want to work going forward, how they empower their people, how they train and enable them, how they connect to the wider ecosystem. The use of modern IT can help in many cases, but it's not the only answer if not underpinned by a more agile and open organization culture, starting really from the top. So if you put all these three forces together, it seems like the journey from just exploring digital to doing things digitally, to becoming digital, or even finally being digital needs to be accelerated at light speed. And whatever digitalization strategy you had in mind, it needs to be reimagined. Red Hat is able to help and support you on that path. And when it comes to the development, deployment and management of next generation applications or microservices in hybrid cloud environments, based on open source software, Red Hat has become the undisputed leader in this area. Forrester has just recently positioned us in that space as a leader from a strategy and offerings perspective. So now let me stop here to not take away the thunder from all of our speakers lining up today, and let me end my introduction by really thanking all of our EMEA showcase partners for their great contribution to this year's forum, but also for being such an essential part of Red Hat's ongoing success. The agenda will now continue with our EMEA General Manager and Senior Vice President Werner Knoblich, who will give you the bigger picture on Red Hat's business strategy. He is then followed by Michel Isnar, Vice President Sales at EMEA, who will talk more about our solution portfolio and how our products and technology have helped customers in accelerating their digital transformation strategy. We will close our keynote section by giving you a breathtaking demo that will demonstrate the art of the possible, where you can see how all Red Hat products and solutions playing together. From there onwards, we will split in 14 country tracks, covering sessions in 10 different languages, plus one session dedicated to our showcase partners. You are welcome to attend any track and explore our virtual environment. We have especially a 3D Red Hat booth, a partner area, a play area with some fun games, and most importantly, real-time chats. You can interact with other participants in 3 different ways. A general chat that you see at the top navigation bar, another chat in each country page in local language, and a chat in every session you watch to interact with other participants or speakers. With this, I wish all of you an inspiring and informative day, and it's my great pleasure to hand over now to Werner Knoblich. Really thanks for spending time with us today.
A warm welcome to Red Hat Forum Virtual Experience 2020, also from my side. Normally, this is the time of the year when I travel around many countries, many cities, be it Rome, Madrid, Stockholm, Tel Aviv, Johannesburg, or any other major city around Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We are doing this event series, the Red Hat Forums, already for 13 years, and I have been part of it from the beginning. But this year is another milestone, because of its virtual nature, unfortunately. Preparing for an innovative future. At Red Hat, we are convinced that being ruthlessly open is the key to this. We believe open unlocks the world's potential. This is our overarching purpose of the company. That's where we get all our people rallied around a common purpose where everybody can get behind. And the whole company subscribes to this. It's not just our developers, who work in an open way in these communities, in these open source communities. It's the way how we manage the company. We are applying certain or many open source principles, like meritocracy, where the best idea wins, to the way we're managing the company. Okay, so it's not the hierarchy which matters, it's the content, it's the idea which matters. And this is a principle, for example, which clearly fuels innovative ideas. We built this forum with the promise in mind that at the end you should be able to know what is your first step to unlock your full potential. People often ask me, what is actually Red Hat doing? My answer is pretty simple. Red Hat is an enterprise software company with an open source development model. Or in other words, at Red Hat, we make open source software consumable for enterprise customers like yourself by preserving the advantages of open source, but eliminating the disadvantages of open source via our subscription business model. We are applying this religiously to all our enterprise offerings, not just on Linux where we started. We are applying this to our operating system, to storage solutions, to middleware solutions, to OpenStack, to container-based solutions, up the way to our management and automation solutions. Okay, everything is built within these open source communities, and out of this we create our enterprise offerings. And most important, everything we do, 100%, also goes back again in these communities. So nothing stays proprietary. All our code, all our technology is 100% based on open source technology. Very, very important to remember. And as I said, we are religiously about applying these principles to everything we do. And you will hear more about this later on. Let's take a quick look at a snapshot at how did we do as a company. Thanks to your great support and recognition, we are clearly the leading provider of open source, enterprise IT solutions. Okay, you made us what we are today. We are phenomenally present, in the Fortune 500, Fortune 2000 customers. We actually have tens of thousands of customers around the world, and our 16,000 people in over 40 countries can truly provide enterprise class support on a worldwide basis, delivering the services 24/7 by 365 days a year. IBM acquired us in July 2019 for $34 billion. At the time, our revenue was over $3 billion, and we kept growing very nicely quarter after quarter, as IBM has reported as part of their last 4 earnings calls. Speaking of IBM, we are now owned for over 18 months, but the vision which was defined prior to the acquisition, on July 9th, it is 100% in place and a reality. Red Hat is still Red Hat. As an independent operating unit within IBM with our own CEO, maintaining our crucial neutrality by staying the Switzerland of the software industry, and keep working with the extensive ecosystem, including companies like Microsoft and Amazon and Google and Alibaba and Accenture and Atos and CAP and TCS and Wipro and HPE and Dell, NEC, and many, many others. Many of these companies are very competitive, strong competitors to IBM. But IBM also wants us, that's part of our value, to foster this ecosystem and maintain our neutrality. Arvind Krishna, the new CEO of IBM, always states that IBM is very biased towards Red Hat technology, but Red Hat needs to stay 100% neutral to foster this broad ecosystem, because it's the ecosystem which made Red Hat so successful. So from a Red Hat perspective, IBM is a very important strategic partner, as others are as well. Now let's look at some of the IT challenges. We see, 3 blocks of IT challenges, where the first, it's all around optimization of the infrastructure costs by building or using hybrid cloud environments. The second, it's all around, faster delivery of new services, by accelerating cloud native application development. And the last area is everything around making these things very efficient, automating them and manage them. So when you look at our product portfolio, we kind of group this in 2 major areas. First, hybrid cloud infrastructure. Second, application development. And third, management and automation. Important to note is cloud can't solve every challenge, and neither can simply improving your existing infrastructure. So there's a clear balance where the IT organizations and the CIOs and the digital officers need to find the balance on how to apply, where that makes cloud sense, where does make public cloud sense, where does make private cloud sense, and so on. So it's finding the right balance. We look at these three areas and how they come together in a way that at the core you have Linux. Because Linux is part of your infrastructure and it's the foundation for all your new container-based applications. Very, very crucial. Obviously, there's also Windows containers and they can exist, and there are also virtual machines which can exist and which also fit nicely in this infrastructure. When I will talk about this later on. And this infrastructure even further extends even to the edge. But the key thing is Linux is at the core. We at Red Hat are working in the Linux environment for the last 26 or 27 years. Okay, so this is our home turf and we know exactly what it takes. And very important, containers are Linux and Linux is containers, where we all know that the container platform is so crucial going forward. Okay, then everything we have Linux in the center with the infrastructure around it, then it's all about, again, building modern apps, to get your business to deliver your digital services faster and better. And at the end, to manage everything and automate everything in your hybrid cloud environment. Let's take a little bit of a deeper look into the hybrid cloud infrastructure pillar. We did the survey, or we tasked Qualtrics to do a worldwide survey with over 1,400 participants, okay? And the trends towards hybrid cloud usage is very clear. Take a look at the red and the green bars, and especially see how the green bars are shifting to the right, okay? Which is a clear confirmation that more and more companies will use more and more different cloud platforms at the same time. For example, currently only 2% of the respondents are using 4 cloud platforms, but in 12 months already, 14% will use 4 cloud platforms at the same time. So we have a clear confirmation of this trend towards using multiple cloud platforms, making the need for a hybrid cloud evident. When you look at our architecture picture, especially from an infrastructure perspective, Red Hat OpenShift is the centerpiece in our hybrid cloud infrastructure portfolio. OpenShift becomes the abstraction layer, of the infrastructure underneath. Because it's very essential. OpenShift can run bare metal, it can run virtualized, be it virtualized on Red Hat virtualization technology or VMware technology. It can run on an OpenStack based private cloud, or it can run on any of the major public cloud providers. Literally every single major public cloud is certified for OpenShift. And it can also run in edge use cases more and more, which are coming especially in the telco environment and factory floors and so on. With this setup, you can take full advantage, of the fantastic services these different providers provide. Okay, like Google has obviously, and Microsoft and Amazon and all of these public cloud providers have fantastic services you want to consume. At the same time, you don't want to be locked into a vertical stack, and that's exactly what OpenShift provides you. You are able to use the advantages of these public cloud providers without having the risk to fall into a trap to being vertical, locked in, and then lose your flexibility and your portability and potentially have a vendor lock-in, which you want to avoid. So nothing better than a customer. BMW already works with us for many, many years, together, and BMW choose strategically OpenShift. OpenShift is their platform to host all the applications connected with the connected car environment. Okay, so every application which talks to the car and receives data back from the car sits on an OpenShift platform. At the same time, all their environments which they use for the analytics to better analyze, and build autonomous driving for the future, is built on an OpenShift platform. And you can read here fantastic statements of, in this case, of the integrator who was doing this. So let's go to the second area and take a deeper look into the app development side of the house. Again, the same, study from Qualtrics, the trends towards containerized applications is absolutely unstoppable. Again, look at the green bars and you see them how they shift to the right, after 12 months, okay? Here you clearly see that 63% are stating that in 12 months, 40% plus of their applications will be containerized, where today only 30% have 40% or more applications containerized. So that is a gigantic acceleration of getting applications containerized. This is absolutely unstoppable. Again, OpenShift is the perfect platform. It's the perfect platform not just for hosting all the kind of applications you're running, but it's also the perfect platform which provides your developers the productivity and the tools that provides your developers the tools they need to be actually really productive. That they don't have to fiddle around with building up environments, dealing with security, dealing with network issues, and so on. They can focus on delivering your new digital service much faster and deliver it in a very automated and secure way. Okay, so on top of the OpenShift platform, we also Red Hat also provide different services for integration, for data services, for process automation, all the runtimes, but also a wide range of ISV partners who plug into with their applications into our OpenShift platform. Also very, very important. Again, nothing better than having a customer endorse, what we are saying. In that specific case, it's all about the runtimes, where some of our new technology is around Quarkus, where Quarkus is the technology which optimizes Java to be used inside a container. Okay, optimized, why? Because inside a container, you need to have much faster, boot up time, and you need lower memory requirements, which exactly, Quarkus is doing. But the essential part is that all the existing Java expertise which exists in your own company, but which actually exists in the millions of Java developers around the world, can get leveraged, because it is a way to get Java optimized inside a container. So great, again, technology and a great endorsement from Vodafone. The last but not least is the pillar around management and automation. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look here as well. Again, the same study confirms that the different areas I talked about are top of mind of the respondents, including or in addition to IT security. So management and automation is essential to make a hybrid multi-cloud environment a reality. With Ansible, Satellite, and Insights, we already had great technologies to help deliver infrastructure as a code. That's pretty much what it is. And the newest addition is Red Hat Advanced Cluster Manager for Kubernetes. ACM, as we call it, is another great example of our strategy under the IBM ownership. Prior to the acquisition, we as Red Hat already had plans to further develop multi-cluster functionality, for the OpenShift platform. After the acquisition, we realized that IBM was already much further ahead doing the same thing. So what did we decide? We actually moved over 100 engineers which are working on this technology in the IBM environment. We moved them over to Red Hat. We made them official Red Hat employees. We moved the code over. We open sourced the code, and now just recently launched the offering Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management under the Red Hat umbrella with the Red Hat, subscription business model. And like I said, it is a normal Red Hat offering. So again, a great example of how the relationship with IBM works to make sure that Red Hat, stays Red Hat. In the automation space, a great reference customer is SBB out of Switzerland, where they're using actually Ansible to automate many, many, many different devices, eliminating a huge amount of manual tasks which they had to do before to manage these huge amount of different devices. So when you look at summary at the complete picture, you see in this architecture picture, again, the hybrid cloud infrastructure, the application development, and the management automation, represented. You see also many Red Hat logos again on there, which is great, but it doesn't mean that you have to use everything from us and only from us, okay? It's very important. That's always our philosophy. We are providing choice, and we have a wide range, again, of partners, who plug in nicely into complementing our solutions, or sometimes even replacing some of our solutions, which is also great, okay? It's all about choice, and we want to make sure that this whole environment works greatly together. Still, the centerpiece of this whole architecture at the end is the OpenShift container platform. And the good news is the whole industry, not Red Hat, decided that Kubernetes is the technology standard for container orchestration. We at Red Hat, we decided, we made the bet for Kubernetes 6 years ago, not 6 months ago or 12 months ago, 6 years ago. And obviously this early bet, is the reason why we're having today a full enterprise-ready container platform, available, which is already used in production by over 2,000 customers around the world. The newest additional functionality of the container platform is the possibility to run virtual machines and containers side by side. Think about it. Running virtual machines and containers side by side on the same platform, managed with the same technology by the same team. We enable you to take the past and bring it with you into the future. Okay? And the beauty on top of it, for not a single dime extra, because the virtualization functionality within OpenShift is part of the offering, it's part of the subscription. Okay? We're seeing now more and more use cases where this is really required. When you think about 5G deployments in a telco environment, where they need to have the container platform running bare metal on the edge because they cannot afford to have a more complex, even virtualization structure underneath. Okay, so the container platform needs to run bare metal, but they still have applications which are only able to run in a VM. So this is the way how we can enable this to have, again, OpenShift run bare metal on an edge deployment, having applications in a VM or in a container side by side running on top of it. So phenomenal capabilities to make this happen. And running your container environment bare metal is more and more the trend. OpenShift is the only enterprise-grade container platform able to run, on bare metal, which is the future. Okay, because it dramatically takes complexity out and it takes cost out. Customers are great, but also getting endorsement from analysts is just great. Here, when you look at this picture, Forrester just did a fantastic endorsement of our position in the market. When you look at the strategy cannot be any stronger, because then we would fall off the chart when you look at the x-axis. Okay, and our offering cannot be even close to not even any stronger anymore as represented on the y-axis. So, in Forrester states, as cloud-native technologies like containers and Kubernetes mature rapidly, they are becoming the preferred new way to build new software experiences and modernize existing apps at scale and across clouds. They also state Red Hat offers the leading platform for developers and operators, and Red Hat is ideal for both cloud-native organizations and large enterprises with complex legacy applications and modernization needs. Technology is super crucial, but technology is not everything. If you want to run successful digital transformation projects, you need technology, but you also need to be willing and able to change your processes and change your people and your culture. When I say change your people, meaning change the way of working, which is super crucial. Not doing all three things kind of at the same time, you will not be successful. We at Red Hat, we are an excellent technology provider, but at the same time, we are truly a change agent helping companies transform their way of working. More and more companies need to become or act more like a software company, okay, and act even more like an open source software company. So that's why I think we are ideal suited to help people with technology, but also help them to transform the way they do work and how to transform, also their cultural aspects of a company. In summary, our business strategy, obviously, it's centered around you as our customers and surrounded with our products, our people and culture, and last but not least, our huge partner ecosystem. Thank you for your attention, and I have the pleasure to hand over to Michelle Isnar, who will provide more details about specific customer cases. Keep enjoying the event. Bye.